is my first of many guests tonight. This is the one and only Mr. Rodney Fyke, author of Roadkill Rampage and drawer of many pretty pictures. All right, and also football aficionado. And when I wanted to do my 800th episode,
you just went live.
Everything okay?
Yeah. She's going to come over here and mess with it. We might have to pop out for a minute. I don't know yet.
Yeah, no worries. I can actually just do this. Yeah.
I want to turn the camera on, and it's telling me.
Do you want me to just pop off? You want to pop you off for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, this is my 800th episode, and I have a bunch of guests tonight. I have Rodney Fyke, I have Nikki Nash, I have William Holland, and I have, I hope I got her last name right here because I screw up all the freaking time here. And that's, give me a second here. I'm just going to do this like this because I'm a trained professional and I almost know what I'm doing. Almost. And that is, and now, well, I mean, look, oh, there it goes. So I got Stephanie here. I think it's Stephanie Dempsey. I could be wrong. I might have her last name wrong. So Stephanie, right? Yeah, okay. I have her last name completely wrong, but that's all right. Meanwhile, I kind of just want to say this very quietly. I'm sure that Ron needs to get his camera adjusted for the drink and draw tonight. This is going to be a special little one here. I want to thank everybody. This is 800 episodes, man. I have done 800 episodes of just joshing. Ooh, there we go. Maybe. Give me a thumbs up, guys, when you're good. Just a thumbs up. Okay? Okay, so it kind of works. We're almost there. They're getting there, folks. They're getting there. Yeah, Metal Maiden Inc. Okay, thank you very much for the congratulations. Congrats. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for coming and watch. This is going to be a bit of an unusual one. Like I said, new location, but the internet here is wonky. So I just got off my freelance gig. So I'm just, at this moment in time, I'm just getting ready to Starbucks and get ready to draw. But I kind of want to just say to everybody watching, listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I would not have been able to do this without you. 800 episodes is a lot. I've done with an awful lot of cool people, guests, and just wonderful human beings in general, right? So that's kind of what we're doing here, is doing a little celebration. There's going to be 3 old guests and 1 new one tonight, which seems appropriate. They're going to join us at various points in the show. And like I said, Rodney is just about here. It's just a little bit of technical difficulty there. And like I said, his significant other, his partner in crime, are doing their things. And I actually kind of want to thank them both first. Tina, you rock. Thank you very much. Rodney, you rock. Thank you very much. And I'm going to be doing that to everybody that comes on the show tonight. But yeah, I'm going to be drawing tonight. And what am I going to draw? I'm not sure. I actually was debating about this, whether I do a homage or whether I do a, whether I try drawing a glitter dragon. I have new pencils, as you can see here. I've actually gotten better at this, and I've been doing more and more art stuff as time goes on, and it's been really, really cool. So what do you guys think I should do? Should I try drawing a dragon? Should I go back and do like a Ninja Turtle? Come on, Maggie, what do you want me to draw? What do you want me to try and draw tonight? Yeah, so, and Maggie is Metal Maiden Inc. 1. Ooh, it's going to be a dragon tonight. All right. So we're going to go to the annals of Magic the Gathering, because Magic the Gathering has some of the coolest dragons ever. And the one I'm going to do is on there. Some MTG. We're going to give it a shot here. I found it. I'm just getting it bigger now. Opening the image in a new tab. There we go. I have an all-powerful conniving dragon page here, which is going to be kind of fun. He's kind of golden. There we go. Hold on here. You there, Rodney?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
All right. We're good.
We're in.
Okay. Thank you, baby.
So I don't know if Rodney heard everything I said there or not, but if he did, cool. If he didn't, this is Rodney Fyke is the illustrator of Roadkill Rampage. He's amazing. He really, really is.
Stop it.
Well, hold on. He's one of the only.
You're embarrassing me.
I'm going to keep embarrassing you. Just say one more thing. You're like one of the only few people I can talk about the seriousness of the life philosophy, and then just go and talk about the Cincinnati Bengals at the same time. I don't get to do that with too many people. I can do silly stuff with other people, but very rarely football. And folks, I'm gonna let you know a little secret. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. That's why I'm talking about the Bengals, because the Bengals will win the Super Bowl before the Lions ever do. That's just the way it is.
They had a pretty good draft.
They did, but Detroit doesn't get anything right. Like, let's be honest, right?
True.
Right. I mean, I gotta go back to like the Barry Sanders era of things, and then it's like, yeah,
poor Barry.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Barry. Poor Megatron.
Yeah, poor all that talent that went into Detroit and went down the freaking toilet, right? So. And
the one diamond that got away took it out of my Bengals. Goddamn him, Matt Stafford.
Yes. So look at that paper bag princess homage right there, folks. I've come a long way. I've come a long way.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I still got a long way to go, but I've come a long way. Now this one's my current profile pic, ladies and gentlemen. This took me 2 hours to draw. I learned an awful lot about dragon scales in doing this drawing.
That's cool. Right? I love it.
Yeah. More details. Yeah, 800. Jay's. Yes. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to fuck with the light on this. So.
All right, no problem.
Bear with me, folks.
Yeah.
I tore everything down to go to a show, and I haven't rehooked it all up yet.
Which is all good. I mean, I'm glad you're busy and shows are back, almost back to normal down there. Or are they?
Well, we went to a show. It was up in Sandusky, Ohio, called Colossal Con. It was an anime show.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God! It was. Me personally, I think everybody else as well. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
It was just 4 days of debauchery. Watching debauchery, not participating in debauchery. But it was just. I mean, I'm sure you've been to an anime con. It's just crazy.
They're fun. They are super fun.
Yes.
So they are super fun. They have a great So me personally, my favorite cons, like if you're talking about exclusive hobbies, are video game cons and anime cons.
Yeah.
The fans are just nuts. I mean, the best way. They're so passionate about it. By the way, I never thought a white pencil crayon would be so valuable ever until I actually got one, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is how it should be. How did I not use the one before? So Cat Moss, I can't believe, so just like one of those surreal dumb moments here. I've drawn with Bill Moss, I've drawn with you, I've drawn with Elsa, I've drawn with Mark Park, I've drawn so many of these amazing people, and I'm like, so wait. So Cat taught me a trick, a coloring trick, and it works, and that's use light blue and very, very lightly use it. And I tried it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's not quite white, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
It's like I'm learning stuff. So I'm trying to take. So Nikki Nash, who's going to be joining the show in a little bit, is someone that's it's someone that she's always telling me, lighter pencils, Josh, lighter pencils. And I'm like, I have a mechanical pencil, so it's kind of hard to do it. But now I got, as you can see here, folks, I've evolved. My game is changing.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, I still don't completely understand all the technical details, like 2H versus 2B, which is a darker pen. But you know what? I'm learning, and that's the whole point. Like, you can't be afraid to experiment and try new things, right? So.
Oh, sure. Pressure me to get out my right pencils.
Oh, nice. Am I pressure? I didn't think I could pressure you, Rodney.
Well, it's that and having to unpack my tools from the con.
It's all
It's the dual purpose thing.
So it's accomplishing two birds with one stone.
Although I don't draw with blue pencil.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't like the feel of it. So there.
Really, that's all you have to say, my friend.
Yeah.
What I've learned in this life is, the biggest thing I've learned in art in the last little bit here. Oh, and John, if you are listening, I am trying to take on a dragon mage from Magic the Gathering. Right. I don't know if it's going to go well or not, but I am going to try to do a dragon mage. That is it's my all-time favorite dragon because it does so I'm a big gamer nerd there, Rodney. So one of my favorite cards of all time is Wheel of Fortune, which makes you discard your hand and draw 7 new cards. Well, when this dragon hits somebody, everybody discards their hand and draws 7 new cards. So this is like my favorite dragon for the longest time, right? Until they made it.
Go ahead. No, yeah. I just said okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So I've learned the value of, I love those crazy wheel effects in Magic the Gathering, and yeah. So John, guess what kind of commander I really dig, right? Yeah. I know. I gotta get that done now. So I have to actually I have my first published illustration in a Kickstarter as well, Rodney, since we last talked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a glorious glitter dragon. That's what it is.
Sweet.
Yeah, because Magic players sometimes will go to an artist and alter a card, and it's really sweet most of the time. But I'm liking this evil red dragon that just wins games all the time. Probably wouldn't want to be altered too much. And then if you suddenly give it glitter, right? If you suddenly give it glitter, I don't know if it takes too kindly to that. So we're almost funded, and I have the short story in, so I have to get now the illustration in. So, yeah, I've come a long way, good sir.
I love it.
Yeah. If you had told me I'd have been a published illustrator or going to be a published illustrator, I would have said, ha ha ha. Now I can't laugh about that anymore. It's like, oh, it's kind of happening. Also, John is here. John, thank you for the opportunity. It will be the silliest dragon ever. I already kind of know it. I already kind of know. And by the way, for those watching and listening, the Kickstarter is right there if you want to support it. Right? So it's right literally there. If you want to join in, Shazam. Right? And yeah, it's my first Kickstarter I'm a part of. It's actually not going to be the last one I'm going to be a part of this year, but it's my first one. And yeah, I want to thank John very much for the opportunity. It meant a lot. So, yeah. It's been crazy. It has been crazy in like the best of ways so far, and but yeah, man. And you're gonna have one of your projects, a couple of your projects coming soon, too, aren't you?
Sure.
Well, maybe not your horror stuff, but some of your other stuff. Maybe.
The forces out of our control have delayed that once again. So
it feels like that project is somehow a little cursed. I don't know why.
You know what? I don't know. It's so aggravating because I mean it happened. It happened with other books too. And it's just like. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it live.
Oh, okay. That may swear words. Okay, gotcha. I won't.
Well, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I understand. I'm being silly, right? Because I would just swear.
Right? Oh, I can swear, but it's just it's just fucking frustrating. It's just like God damn. What the fuck? I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's just our sense of obligation and delivering on what you say you're going to deliver on.
It's hard.
I'm just going to squirrel myself right there.
No. I'm not going to talk about your project in particular. I'm going to point out one of my favorite examples I've seen in life, and that was, man, I gotta say, Dragon Mage has a lot of spikes to him. He just really, really has a lot of spikes to him. So I don't know if I'm going to get him right the first time, but I am going to get him right. What I've learned in this life is, it's the people that show up at the end of the day that win. And I think what happens when we start these journeys, this is something this is my theory. I could be totally like on something. I'll be the first to admit this. But I've learned that in this life that when we start an undertaking, any kind of undertaking, right, there's a test of what we're going to willing to tolerate from our partners in crime in this life. And I think one of the things I've learned as a freelancer more than anything else in the last 2 years, self-worth is freaking everything.
Yeah.
And the people that don't show up don't usually have that self-worth. Now shit happens sometimes. I'm not gonna say that it's never that way, but it's one of those situations where I can kind of see it going, you know, I think this has gone to shit. And does he have two tails? That is weird. It looks like he has two tails. Yeah, he does have two tails. Cool.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my little guy.
No, yeah, well, I'm drawing my guy too, right? So
Right.
yeah. Your little guy is way cuter than mine, right? I mean, your guy is way cuter. He looks so happy.
This is Dude from Pitter Patter.
Yes, which is a great book.
Thank you.
So
I can't wait to get back on to issue 3.
yeah,
I'm almost there.
you're like yay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
So yay.
It's all of the A's. It's all of the A's. Absolutely. So no, but finding people like I've learned this in life, man. The hardest thing about this whole game is finding people that will show up.
Yeah, and you and I have discussed this before. I think one of the first times we had a discussion, you introduced me to the fine art of showing up, and ever since then, that phrase has always been in the back of my mind when confronting new people to work with.
Yeah.
Are they going to show up?
Yeah.
And most people do, but inevitably something happens, or you just watch where they start doing one thing when they should be doing another thing, and you can't say anything because you're not the boss of them.
Well, it depends. When money changes hands, you kind of are.
Yeah.
Like there's a point with that too. Like I get like again, situations happen, and in open communication, like hey, listen, my family member is in the hospital, kind of stuff, right? Well, yeah, or like with me with the show sometimes, right? I'll have, hey, I can't make it, I'm sick. I mean, it's just part of the game,
Right. It happens.
It happens, right? So that can be frustrating too, but it's less frustrating because again, that communication's there, right? The communication's there. You can forgive just about anything. Like, and I have also been forgiven stuff that otherwise I'm just being honest about it. In
Yeah.
different place and time, I could be punished for, and it's understandable. Like I don't. How do I put this? I don't begrudge people like for shit happening because it happens to me, and I understand. But that's one thing. The other thing is when someone's like, "Well, I'm going to go off and do this and do that and do this and do that." Well, if I'm paid to do something, then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
So I've been playing with dragons because I have this idea of what glorious glitter dragon's gonna look like, and he's gonna look like, and basically he's gonna look like a cartoony version of a card called Niv Mizzet. But I'm playing with all these different dragon designs because I want to make him look a little cartoony and defaced by paint and just generally pissed off at the world. Get like
Right.
Daffy Duck eyes of "I'm going to get you," right? And now I got some more tools. I'm going to design him like a card that's been completely defaced, completely defaced, and
Gotcha.
he's not happy about it. Glitter in black and white is going to. I have to admit, it still challenges me. But from what everyone's told me, the secret to that is just two different colors. It's all about the different color scheme you got. Okay, I will. Not color scheme, the shading scheme.
Yeah.
It's all shading. So okay, you know what? I trust you guys. I will. You know more than me. I am just. So one of my guests, William Holland, the joke I have with him is I tell him I'm the pretty one, because he's so talented, right? I'm just a pretty one, and he laughs because he'll just let me have it. So you know what? I'll give you that. Where we flip, where we flip is when it comes to podcasting. Then he's like, okay, I'm the pretty one here. You know, that's totally fair. I totally get that. But in everything else, he's super talented, right? He's a super talented dude, and yeah, what I've learned, again, I've learned a lot from everybody. So what I learned from him was, have fun with like your skill set and enjoy the learning process.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I've drawn nearly as much with William as I've drawn with you. Oh, speaking of, this is Stephanie Merkus, ladies and gentlemen. She is the new guest here. How you doing?
Hi, Stephanie.
I can't hear you quite hear you. Let's take a look. I can kind of hear you.
You sound like you're talking through a tin can.
Yeah. So the audio, so the audio settings. There's a settings button now on the restream. I'm right, and there's an audio up. Like click on it. There's the audio button. You can see where your audio is coming from. Okay, she's figured it out. Little bit. Little bit. It's getting better.
Almost there.
Yes. We're technical geniuses and stuff. I swear. Trained professional right here. Almost there. Now you just went silent. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Intimidate with fear. That's what I'm going to tell you. Intimidate with fear. Just try to intimidate the machine. It kind of works sometimes. I heard nothing. Did you hear anything, Rodney?
I can barely hear you. It sounds real tinny. Almost like you're whispering. That's better.
That's better. That's better.
Stop yelling at me.
I just met you and you're already picking on me, Steph. This usually takes about 5 minutes longer than that. It takes about 5 minutes since I was Rodney.
I get down to business.
Yeah, you get right down to business. Hey, I can respect that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stephanie Merkus. She is a singer extraordinaire, right? She is our quote unquote substitute, although she's substitute for no one, for the great Elsa Garza, right? And I told her this off the air. Whatever Nikki told you about me is probably true. Okay. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but it's a good thing. It is what it is. I got Stephanie laughing at least, which is a good thing. So Stephanie, do you draw? No. Did she go silent again? Yes. So, note to self. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna boot you out and have you come back in. So set your settings wherever they were prior to it. Hopefully it works. If not, I'm going to be very sad panda. And then it should be like super fun. Hold on a second here. Yay. Yes. Nikki's about to join us soon, so I'm gonna boot you out. We're gonna try. We're gonna see if you can fix it. If you can't fix it, I'm going to feel very, very terrible. And because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at this point because I'm on Restream and everybody's on Restream now. So, yeah. All right. Try a second. Give me a thumbs up when you got that setting. We'll try it again here. And this wild. Okay. Say something.
Hello?
Shit.
No!
I hear you when you yell. I hear you. Okay, on. I can kind of hear you, very vaguely, which means that your audio system is just being evil. Do you have like a microphone?
What about headphones?
Or headphones even? You have headphones? So okay, I'm gonna shut you off, and you come back. You come back and try with the headphones. See if that actually does the trick. This has been a functional podcast so far. Trained professional, Rodney. Trained professional.
Hey, you know that's what makes it appealing.
Hold on a second here. Can you repeat yourself, Rodney?
Can I mute myself?
Okay, this is getting weird. 1 second here.
Do you need me to?
Okay, try again. Can you say something again?
Say something again?
Okay, I hear you better. Okay, so it might be my microphone. Hold on a second here.
Oh, you're talking to her.
All right, hold on a second here. Hello, William.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. Work was work. So just got off a little bit ago.
Hold on a second here.
Okay.
Something happened with my audio, and I'm not quite sure what. Okay, that works.
Can you hear me okay?
Audio output. Hey, can someone talk?
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you now. I changed that. So I hear you, William.
Okay.
So I hear you. How about Rodney?
How about Rodney? Can you hear Rodney? This is Rodney for Go.
Rodney. So Rodney. So okay, let's do proper introductions. This is William Holland.
Hi, William.
What?
Hello, Rodney.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Same here,
So Rodney. So Rodney is an amazing talent, much like yourself. So once again, William, I am possibly, at least for the moment, the pretty one here until the next two guests show up. And then I don't know what I am. So how you been, man?
It's been interesting. Last few days have been interesting days, but we're working. We're pulling ahead. We're going through because I've got purpose. I've got breath. So there's opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, and that is a good attitude, and it sounds like you've gone through some wonderful time. I know a little bit about it because we've talked a little off the air, right? But is it even more wonderful than what I know?
I don't know that it's more wonderful. It's just at a standstill at the moment.
Gotcha.
We're just in the standstill pool. But I did do some developing of something that I kind of talked to you about as well. And mind if I share that with y'all real quick?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
So for a couple of days, I've been doing a lot of drawings for a little bit. And so trying to do some commissions and things. But then the last couple of days, I've been working on my concept for the Tales of 100 Acre Woods. Is what I call them. Of course, for most people that know or don't know, Winnie the Pooh is considered public domain as far as the stories now. And so you can do other stuff with it. And so I kind of came up with this idea and where what would occur if Christopher Robin had been taken by an evil king in another village near the 100 Acre Woods, where the 100 Acre Woods is kind of Switzerland. Okay. And they were just like, we'll let you do your thing. You let us do our thing. We're here to help raise the boy. Don't mess with us. We won't mess with you. We're fine. And then they kidnapped Christopher Robin because they thought, well, if we kidnap him, we can get them to join us in these battles we're in. So we can do stuff, and that's not quite what's happening.
We got a thumbs up from Stephanie here. By the way, really cool not yet. She's trying to figure this out.
So
they also the 100 Acre, like, so you enjoying Winnie the Pooh? Are you enjoying the concept of Winnie the Pooh?
Well, one thing I did research and find out, apparently Winnie the Pooh was based on a black bear.
Really?
Named Winifred. And so I kind of went to more of that idea with the concept of Winnie the Pooh and that he's a black bear, not the typical yellow plushy bear. So he's very much a black bear instead. He is kind of my warrior type. And then we have Rabbit, who's more of our monk diplomat. And then we have Eeyore, who is the weaponsmith. And then we have Tigger that is our rogue. And so if you'll notice, the character designs are a lot different because I'm trying to kind of put my own spin on them and not have Disney come after me, because even though the stories are very public domain, but the Disney versions of them are not. So I don't want to do anything that comes near Disney's version of them. So I want to get inside my own head for a minute and put my own things out there, and then be like, I want to tell this interesting story kind of the family that you have versus the family you're born into.
Gotcha. Real quick before I get a response, Stephanie.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah.
Hello, Stephanie.
Got it. We got it.
Yahtzee.
So we'll get some. I'm screwed now. I'm not the pretty one here anymore.
I was gonna say you're not the pretty one anymore.
None of us are. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
all right.
So well, sounds like a fun concept. ER is the weaponsmith. Sounds like actually kind of badass.
Well,
also,
Eeyore being the weaponsmith was funny because, in a lot of the readings that I've had to do with Eeyore was kind of, each character in Winnie the Pooh had a different kind of emotional spectrum, if you will, kind of a temperament. They each represented different temperaments. And so Eeyore was kind of the temperament of I want to please people, but I really don't want to get involved in anything. If I get too involved in stuff, I can end up possibly upsetting people. And that's like the worst thing you could have happen. And so his whole thing is, I want to make the weapons that people need, and I'm not necessarily going to get in the fight. Will Christopher Robin being kidnapped possibly bring him into the fight? And if it does, what does that look like?
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep the original characters in the book. I think there were a couple of characters that were not in the books. They only were created through the Disney idea. So I want to stay away from those characters.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Just keep it primarily within the characters of the book.
And come up with your own, which is always cool. All right, now let's do this properly. Stephanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you are a singer, right?
Yes, I am.
So what do you sing? That is a deep answer. That is a deep. That is totally a deep answer. I can see why you and Nikki get along. I can totally see why you two get along. We have one more. Yeah, we have one more guest here coming onto the show tonight, and that is Nikki Nash. But so Nikki was kind enough to introduce Stephanie to the show. I don't know much about Stephanie because it was kind of a last minute deal. But first off, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And if at some point down the road, I'd love to actually do a one-on-one with you, like I've done with all these fine people here. Would that be cool with you?
Sure.
Yeah. So, real quick, so so you two draw, you sing. Do you have do you do in terms of storytelling stuff? Do you do anything in those realms? Like, do you write? Do you do other wonderful things as well?
Yeah, so I write my own music. I started, I just released my debut single this January, I guess it was. Yeah, and
that's
I have
awesome.
another song in the works.
Nice. So what style of music do you do?
So I do country pop.
There's nothing wrong with country pop. Nothing. Because I'm afraid I'm a little intimidated by it. No, I'm kidding. No, seriously though, congratulations. I don't the one thing I will tell everybody that comes on the show, it doesn't matter what you do, the fact that you're going out there and doing stuff is awesome. So I mean, that's cool. What made you decide to want to actually do the go for it now?
So that's a loaded question, but so I'd written songs for a while, and I was kind of a closet musician, right now, sending my own stuff, and very personal, just an outlet to just express everything. And then I broke up with my boyfriend, and then I wrote a song about him that I posted. So that's what made me make everything public. But
so you Taylor Swifted it?
Yeah, I Taylor Swifted it.
That's right. Hey,
it worked out okay for her.
Listen. If you become rich and shameless, I mean, you might be. I'm definitely one of the two. I'll let you figure out which one, right? But yeah. But the thing about that is, like, it's about, like, most songs. Like, if we break down, the majority of songs are about two things: my significant other is awesome, or my significant other is shit. There's really no. Yeah, that is most songs, right? Now, I hope it's not too. You don't have too many shitty people in your life. I mean, it's good song material, but it's kind of bad for the self-esteem. So, but you're not wrong, but
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of songs, so I'll let you put that together.
okay then. No judgment. It's like, hey, it is. But listen, I mean, congratulations. Seriously, that's really cool. And you might as well just bring it up here right now. Where's your song? Wait, I'm assuming your song's available everywhere. And what's it called?
Yeah. So it's like on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere. It's called "Single on You."
Okay, Single on You. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's under Stephanie Merkus.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I am that person, I will go on all powerful Spotify and I will find your song and listen to it. And if it makes me cry, I'll just tell you in private. Okay?
No, it won't. It's pop.
No.
Remember, country pop.
It's going to make you dance.
What the heck? That would be my Spotify. Yeah, so I'll look at that later. No, that's cool. So William's doing Winnie the Pooh. I know what Rodney's doing. So I guess the master plan is: so are you going to plan to do an album and a world tour and become rich and all powerful and famous and stuff? Is that the master plan, or is it just like a fun project for you?
I mean, like, my goal isn't necessarily to become famous. I think it'd be cool, like, if it did happen. I think, like, as artists, we all say that we want our art to be seen,
Yes.
heard, right? So
Seen or heard, absolutely.
I think it's super cool, but it's not the end goal.
No. So is this the end goal, to put as many songs out there as possible, perform on a stage kind of deal? Is that the big goal there for you?
Yeah, I perform a lot here in Calgary, actually. So I have like 4 shows in the next week, but it's
That's
just
awesome.
a hobby. So we'll see what happens, but whatever's meant to happen will happen, right?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How do you sound? Nikki, say something. Okay, there we go.
Hello.
Gotcha. So there's, what do all three of you, and I'm sorry, Stephanie, you last minute, but it's still, like, awesome to have you. But the thing is, 3 of you do have one thing in common. You are some of my favorite guests of all time. Nikki, I love cracking you up. I really enjoy it, right? And she's like, oh God, I'm nervous. Aww. So let's introduce you.
It's something ridiculous, isn't it?
52 times. This is Rodney, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
This is William.
Hi, William.
Hello. Same here.
Yeah. William is an illustrator. He's doing a Winnie the Pooh kind of thing. Rodney's doing his comic pitter patter up there. Stephanie's apparently an awesome singer. So are you, actually. I actually enjoy it when I listen to you. Yeah. So actually, are you performing more now?
Am I performing? Not really. I'm recording some stuff.
That's cool. That's awesome. So, are you country pop too? I just want to make sure I got this nailed down. Okay, so I gotta be really nice. Especially Nikki knows me, so she'll beat me if I don't. But
Birds of a feather fly together.
that's right. No, it's totally. That's totally it. So, no, thank you guys. So, Nikki here also is a very talented illustrator in her own right. She's definitely really good. But it's more, I think, for a hobby for her than a pursuit, if I'm right. Right? So, I'm just going to ask this. Pardon?
Like for drawing and illustrating?
Yeah. it's a hobby. But yeah, so she's been giving me pointers because I've been dabbling with illustration for about a year and a half now. She tells me the same thing: lighten up your pencils. See, I finally got multiple pencils now. I can actually lighten this up eventually now. Yeah. So I'm drawing a dragon. Are you going to be drawing anything, Nikki?
My sketchbook, so I'm like ready to go.
Yeah. So what do you want to draw?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've
So
drawn.
draw whatever you want. Yeah, so it's been a while since I've drawn. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm gonna keep Stephanie relatively preoccupied because she's. I don't want her to feel like left out. Don't worry. Like I'm literally probably the most terrible of these four. I am probably the most terrible. I don't let that stop me. If you want to join in, join in. If you don't, we can just talk about some of your stuff. Yeah.
Does it have to be like from? We use reference photos.
All the references you want.
Beautiful.
There's no rules. There's no rules. There's
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah. No, we're just having fun tonight. So, no, like, so, Steph, so, again, you're producing multiple stuff, and you're doing multiple performances now, and it's a hobby. So what's your actual path? Like, what are you doing that, like, you say it's a hobby, so do you have a passion, something that you're like, I really, really want to do?
I don't know. Like, I love music, and like I would say I am passionate about music. So it's like I feel like passions are also tied into my hobbies. You know?
Yes. No, there's no like there's nothing wrong with that, right? I've had this conversation with I interviewed a metal man from Spain, right, a while ago, and he was very clear that like the band was very clear, like this is just a part-time gig for us. We're really happy with all the other aspects of our lives. There's nothing wrong with that. Like there really isn't. It's just about being honest about what you want in this life, right? Yeah. So I'm just trying to get into your head a little bit more because it's like I don't know you as well as I know the other three, right? So, like,
are you a therapist? Are you secretly a therapist?
Sometimes.
Maybe.
Okay, that's
sometimes.
He's been my therapist.
Sometimes. I will say, Stephanie, that the more you get to know Josh, you will find that Josh is somebody that you will seek out for advice if you need somebody to talk to.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just a firm believer that people should do whatever they feel called to do for whatever reasons. My only thing of it, this is what I say to people. Everybody does exactly what they want to do. The only real question is, do you do what you want to do consciously or not? And the reason why that's important is, right, if you're doing it consciously, there's nothing wrong with what you do. Ha.
There we go.
That is Natalie dying. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I just very honest, like, it's about what you want in this life. Like, you're only here once, you might as well be very blunt and go for whatever it is you want to go for. And there's no wrong answer, as long as you're honest about it, whatever that is, right? You can be a cake decorator, that's what you want to be, and be the best damn cake decorator in the world, and there's no crime in that. You can be like, a factory worker doing, like, lifting 10,000 pounds a day and loving every second of it. I think there's something wrong with that, but there really is nothing wrong with it. Right. But it comes down to you. Like, what do you want to do? If it's about a hobby, and also last thing, I don't know is an honestly good answer too. Like, there's no crime in that either, right? It's just one of those things where you look at it and go, I don't really know right now, and I'm still looking. Hobbies can become passions. Passions can become loves. Whatever that looks like for you, that's all that really matters, right? It's just, like, that's the important thing. I don't really care about what you choose to do with your life as long as you're happy doing it, because damn it, life's too damn short. There you go. That's why people call me a therapist. I encourage people to follow their dreams. All of them.
But show up. But show up.
Yes. That's one of my 10 rules. I have 10 rules now to success. And the first rule is show up. It's like, it seems so dumb, but it's so true. That's what, show up. Yeah.
You can't do it if you're not there.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Yeah. If you're trying to become better at your job, you can't do it if you don't show up. If you're trying to be better at your things you enjoy doing, you got to show up. And there are going to be times where you don't feel like putting in the work. There are going to be times where you don't feel like singing the extra song. There's going to be times where you don't feel like hearing the music for the 14th time to try to see how you can write it. You're a costume designer for somebody. You're going to sometimes not feel like you're able to get out there and put the thing in. But if you don't show up, you can guarantee one thing. It's just like shooting a shot. If you don't shoot the shot, you're going to miss 100% of every shot you could have taken.
That is the second time someone said that today in my day.
Good.
It's solid advice.
It's solid advice, and also it's solid advice. And I'm also tempted to kind of ask: is there an opportunity coming your way that you're mulling over?
That I'm mulling over? No.
Yeah.
Nope. No. I've been getting a lot of auditions, which have been nice. So that's
awesome.
We're talking about that from like all that have been coming lately, and just saying like how I'm so grateful for all the stuff I've been doing, but it's been like a lot. That's what the response I got was, well, even if I don't take, so take all the shots you can.
Yeah, and you're kicking ass. By the way, did you die to that level 1 else? Did you die to in there?
No, I did not die. Actually, when that short's released, you will see what I died from.
So for those of you who are wondering, Nikki actually auditioned for like a LARP. Did I get that right? Or is it role playing or LARPing? Actual LARPing you did there.
No, it's an actual script. So
yeah. No. I mean, you're short. It's a role playing game, isn't it?
It's how do I explain it? It is a role playing game. It's not live like everything is scripted. I guess it's not. Yeah.
You gave me by the way, when we were joking about it, you gave me a terrible idea, which was like I'd come up with my own version of that and have a character just randomly die to everything. Right? And so every episode there's be this moment like you get more and more disgruntled. I made this character. I don't care. I'm gonna die. And just to get to that point until finally like it's something like completely silly. And then that's the one that lives. That's the one that just lives.
Are you into D&D?
Yeah.
Do you DM?
Yeah.
I feel like you should DM sometime.
I've DM'd Shadowrun. Shadowrun. It's a simpler game in terms of mechanics, and I snuck in some novel stuff, and it's fun to watch people just interact. You just get out of the way, you put them in a scenario, and you get out of the way. So, all right, we got to make sure Stephanie has wonderful things to do and talk about and stuff like that, because I kind of feel like you're the odd one out, and I feel bad about that.
Well, I have a Stephanie question.
Oh, hey.
So you're a singer. I'm assuming you play instruments as well.
Yeah.
What is your favorite instrument to play?
It depends on my mood, but normally it's guitar. But sometimes I just like love to sit down on the piano and just like play the piano.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
How did I not know that about you?
I don't know, man.
The things you learn.
So what all instruments do you play?
Just guitar and piano, and I sing.
Guitar and piano.
What kind of guitar and what style of piano?
Like what brand of guitar?
No, like acoustic or electric, or versus.
Oh, yeah, duh. I play an acoustic guitar.
Okay, very cool. And piano, what's your style? Like, is it classical? Is it jazz? Is it like no? Just
no. It's like cowboy chords. It's like you just need to know like 10, and then you play any song.
I am a complete hack on the piano. I'm a complete hack. I can do like a few songs on it. Like I can do "Lean on Me." I can do there's a Scottish song that my dad used to love as a kid. I can do that one a little bit. But piano is a beautiful instrument. It's a really beautiful instrument. It's a very surprisingly complex one, right? Even if you're just hacking it, you still got to be really good to do it well, because it's not an easy instrument at all. So kudos to you, right? That's awesome. Yeah. So when you sing, do you do are you in a band? Are you like a band? Just you? It's all you?
Yeah.
So ideally on stage, is it just you and your guitar, or do you have your guitar and piano up there?
Normally just my guitar and I. My guitar is like a Martin, so I just say like my boyfriend's name is Martin. You know, we're a duo.
Nice. So basically you have a lot of guts. No, I mean, yeah, Johnny Cash, when he went to do his when he revitalized his career, they took away all of his bells and whistles, and he was absolutely terrified. And you're just going up there facing the stage and belting out your song. That's pretty badass. Awesome. Yeah.
And there's a vulnerability too with the guitar because I mean you're up there and it's kind of you and the world is watching, and you really get to see the reactions as to whether or not people are really vibing with it or not. So it's a little bit different. You know, when you've got like a piano or something like that, you know, you're a little bit more away from the audience because you're having to focus on playing the piano and seeing the keys. Whereas with the guitar, you usually practice it so much, it's just it becomes an opportunity to really bury your soul. At least from what I've seen. I'm not a musician. My mother used to tell me all the time, you have a throwing voice. You start trying to sing and people start trying to throw stuff at you.
It took me a minute.
I've got one of those voices too.
I do too. I don't let it stop me. Stuff does hurt sometimes, though. They do come up with some creative stuff to throw at you eventually. Eventually, I just realized if I give you $5, will you stop? It's like, maybe. It's like, yes, I got $5. I got $5. It's like to torture you. It's like, it's totally like, you know.
I'm a working musician. I got paid.
That's right. Just $5. Please stop. Don't do it again. Oh, I got that. Reminds me of a really fun story. So I murdered an Aerosmith song on stage. It was beautiful. It died very painfully. So I tried to do one of the. So he has an album. Aerosmith has an album called 9 Lives, and I used to be able to do that song karaoke 20 years ago. Well, in 2019, that was a lot 20 years ago, and I just watched it. So I killed the song. It literally like died to the point where everybody's like, "It's okay, man. It's okay. You know, it's totally okay. You can definitely do it." So, right? It's okay. There's no screwing up in karaoke. It's like, yes, there is. Don't worry. I know. Totally no. Nikki has vanished into the aether.
No, I'm there.
Yeah, I know. I said he vanished into the aether. He came back. Magic. Poof. Yeah. But no. But all I should say is I'm just like I said. Singing is a real talent. It really, really is. So kudos. So you found it. So boyfriend was the catalyst. Did you always sing? Like, have you always just sang and just wanted to just finally say, I'm going to share it to the world? Obviously, with your boyfriend, but prior to that, lessons, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So actually, my first gig was with Nikki. We played at the airport together.
Oh, yeah.
In Edmonton.
That's awesome.
And she was the one that like made me bare my soul to the world. So thanks, I guess. But yeah, no, I've always kind of sang. I took lessons, and then like one day I just like sat down and I was like, I'm gonna teach myself guitar. So then I taught myself guitar, and then yeah, I come from a really musical family though. So my older sister plays piano, my younger sister plays guitar, and then I just decided I wanted to do both. So
you're the middle sibling.
Yeah. How'd you know? I said that.
You just said it. So
I did say that.
So you're the middle. Oh no.
Me too.
Yay!
Middle child syndrome.
I love that for us.
You guys are evilly tough now. I realize this now because you have to fight for everything. So you were like, so what's the gap in your family? Like how old are you compared to your oldest? What's the gap? Like, is it a few years? Is it really close, or are they far?
18 and 21 months. So 18 with my older sister, 21 with my younger sister.
Oh no. Yeah. You guys must have fought for everything. Or did did you guys get close eventually?
They're close with each other, but I'm just the odd one out kind of, but whatever.
That's almost a hug word. No, it's okay. Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, I can do both your instruments. You guys can't do either, so I'm better than you, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you've heard stuff, but Josh is a therapist, so if you want to talk to him alone, one-on-one time, he'll be available to discuss those middle child syndrome issues.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, or you can, or you can talk to Nikki. She's taking psychology right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of scared now because Nikki might be able to psychoanalyze me like I've been able to do with her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna be in trouble.
unless you have a personality disorder there, otherwise I'm out.
Do I have a personality? I don't know. I'm openly crazy. I don't know if that actually means. I don't know if that actually means I have a personality disorder. I'm just brutally
I mean,
honest.
that rules out a couple of them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a narcissist. I mean, I have an ego, but I'm not really a narcissist. I don't have ADD. I don't get distracted by shiny too much, unless it's
Ooh,
glitter.
it's not always ADD. ADD comes out in other ways, but it's also not.
Yeah, fair enough. Right. So I mean, psychology isn't just about diagnosing what's wrong. It's about just listening to the person, right? And once you listen to the person, you can figure some things out. Like I also know, like I will never get into a fight with Stephanie over anything. She'll kick my butt. She was a middle child. Right? So I'll never never mess with her ever. Right?
She's just shaking her head. Yep.
That's right.
That's right. Well, hey, yeah, it is what it is. I was the oldest of mine, so I almost got my sister to come on the show tonight, almost. Right, and so like she'll do stuff like she'll draw with like her bad hand with me, with drawing with my good hand, just to prove that she's that much better than me, just that kind of stuff. So sibling rivalry is a wonderful thing. But yes, I was the oldest though, so all the screw ups happened with me. Oh, almost all the screw ups happened with me. So
You're the test run.
Yeah, I am the test run. And then you watch the youngest one just get away with stuff you did that you got punished for, and you're like, that's not fair. It's just not fair. And then you're the really youngest one. If you're the youngest of the family and you're together, or you're the baby, you get away with everything. And it's just like, damn it. That's not how it's supposed to be. But that tends to be what happens.
It's just some bullshit.
Yes, it's just pretty much.
Bullshit.
That pretty much is it. It's just how it all goes, right? It all has this tendency to be. It just has this tendency, like that's just we all get our little things. So William, since we're all talking sibling stuff here, oldest, youngest, only.
I'm actually middle on my mother's side. I'm a middle child. On my dad's side, I guess I'm technically middle there too. I had 2 older brothers and 3 younger sisters.
You're also tough as nails. Gotcha. So I feel like the odd one out here. So,
I'm the oldest with you.
What? You're the oldest? Yeah. Yeah. So big gap or little gap like mine? Mine is 18 months.
Mine is
15 months.
2.5 years.
Okay. So younger, bigger, but older, not so much. Okay, gotcha. So 2 oldest and 3 middle childs. All right, I feel like I'm the wimp here. All right, I'll live with it. I'll definitely live with it. I think I've amused Stephanie, or she's bored, one or the other.
So Stephanie, if do you have any interest at all in acting?
Yeah, I think I'm made for reality TV, honestly. Like, why am I not on the show right now?
Really?
Seriously.
Elaborate, please.
Please, yes.
Like, things in my life just happen that should be on TV. Like, it's just too entertaining to not be on TV, you know?
So you know what that means? You need to start a TikTok and start chronicling all this stuff.
I have a TikTok. Like, why am I not famous on TikTok yet is my question.
Hashtags. It's all about the hashtags. Yes.
Okay, take your advice.
I
heard it's going on.
I've been doing video client work for an author, right? So I've been playing with the algorithms, right? So I've had our team with all this stuff to about 3,000 or 4,000 people now, right? Now it's not a huge number, but it's not a tiny number. Then there's the TikTok master down below you, right below on the screen. She has ruined Reading Rainbow for me. You have ruined Reading Rainbow for me.
Sorry.
she'll do this like graphic of like this outer space like thing, and just have this moment where she says she's not a comedian, like lies, but she's completely wrecked reading Rainbow for me. Because now I hear it's like, oh no, now what happened? Right? It's no longer, yay, this thing I was excited at when I was a kid. Nope. It's like it's something, and I'm like.
I got to meet LeVar Burton at a con some years ago. That was
cool.
interesting.
That's cool. That's really cool. So, what was he like?
He's very nice. He's very cordial. Seemed very appreciative of just fans in general. I mean, he shook my hand, got the picture and everything, and I even got to give him one of my books.
Oh, awesome.
So, I told him, I said, you encouraged me when I was young, as far as reading and things like that, especially me growing up, I was made fun of a lot for reading because either there are a lot of kids that look like me that are just like, oh, that stuff, that's not for you. You should be doing all this reading stuff. And then there are other kids that are just like, I don't understand why you do all this reading. We're never going to accept you. And it's just like, maybe because I just love stories. And maybe because I enjoy things, like trying to figure out, like I always had questions when I read. Like I would always go into stuff like, so why does the man in yellow hat have Curious George exactly? Like all the trauma, all that trouble that Curious George causes, that he keeps him anyway. Like what's the reason behind that? Or with Amelia Bedelia or Charlotte's Web or different things like that. I think Ramona, it was one of the ones I read growing up. A Wrinkle in Time, things like that. It was just like I had a lot of whys, and the goal was to try to find out the answers by the time I got done reading it.
Fair. No, that's cool. Reading Rainbow, I caught it at the peripheral end of its run, and then it disappeared for a while. Then he did Star Trek, and then when I was like 12, it came back, and I was like, I already have a reading problem. I don't need LeVar Burton anymore. But I still remember he was the first really big Kickstarter. That's what I remember about him. He was Reading Rainbow hit like $1 million in like in one night on a Kickstarter. It was like, that was big. So that's what I remember about him. But it's cool that you met him. My Star Trek alumni experience was not great. I met it was actually on a podcast. He was on Star Trek Voyager, and remember that no show up thing? He was ridiculously late. And he turned the podcast into a meeting with his fan club, and didn't tell me about it. I kind of find out as it was. So this is like
he turned it into a what?
A fan club being a Q&A with his fan club.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's pretty shitty.
Yeah. So that guy, I'm not a big fan of. You can find it. It's way back in my archives. Like it's.
Let me interview you, sir. That's why I'm here. Let me interview you, sir. That's why I'm here.
Well, yeah, it's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, welcome everybody to a gathering. It's like, blank. I didn't sign up for that. Right? But yeah, worst interview I've ever done. By a shot.
We'll have to talk about that out there. I need details because I've met several Star Trek folks, and
he's not the most well known. He's not one of the main cast.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, probably. If you dealt with him, you know. That's all I'm going to say.
I watched him in action in San Diego a couple years in a row, and he was a prick.
I did find out the hard way that apparently John Delancey,
he's
not a big fan of playing Discord in the My Little Pony show.
Yes, he's not.
If you go up to him and say, "Hey, you're my favorite pony," he will try his hardest to give you a good reaction. But you can tell when he's doing it, he's sitting there going like, I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but you're a fan and I can't do that. So I think the closest thing he said to me was, yeah, it wasn't my favorite moment.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was unaware. He's like, yeah, it was a paycheck, man. It really was. I was like, well, I can appreciate you being honest about it. He said, not many people would do that. He says, but Discord's still one of my favorite characters. I'm glad you got to play him. He's like, usually most people leave with Q. I was like, yeah, I watched Star Trek, Next Generation. Q was not my favorite character. And so he's like, okay, well, fair enough. You were honest. I was honest. That works for us. And so it's kind of like, all right, bet. Well, thanks. He's like, no problem. And we shook hands and walked away.
Fair enough. I'm almost afraid to ask Nikki this question because I don't know if she can actually honestly answer it because she is a working girl for a living in the studio. All right. Is there? Well, actually, there is one. I know we can't talk about at all, but there is.
Oh no! Everybody froze.
No, you didn't. We still here. Can you hear us?
No, I can't see you guys. Give me one second.
Okay, we'll give that a second.
Okay, it seems like everyone's back now. Okay, sorry. All I heard was working girl.
Yeah, because you work in the industry, you can't be quite as open about some of your coworkers as you'd like to be on some things. No, you can't really. No, you can't. So I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask like a terrible experience with a celebrity, but you can't actually say it, can you?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I have a couple
of NDA.
Stories. Sorry.
Did you sign an NDA?
I did not sign an NDA, but I did sign I do eventually want to get casted.
Yeah, like for her, it's a difficult prospect. I mean, unless the dude is so blatantly bad, there's not much she can really say. There are just I've been on my own sets of film sets. Some people are just pricks, and it's just part of the job. It just unfortunately is part of the job.
The most you can really do, like, I can't go out and say, hey, I ran into this celebrity while I was on set one day and this was the experience and this was like what they're actually like. But like, if for whatever reason I don't feel people appropriately, but when it comes to talking in public about it, I try to not.
No, you can't. I totally understand that. Like, you absolutely can't. I mean, there's even in the writing stuff, there are people I've had terrible experiences with. I generally don't talk about either for the same reason, right? I may have to work with these people someday, and that's but it's paycheck, right? And right.
There's just a lot of things with it, right? Like, one, that is just my experience with some of these people, right? It can
exactly no
change. Also, too, that's exactly it. There's also now the defamation thing, which you really have to watch what you say.
Unless it's something very blatantly bad, in which case you can say anything you want, and you should. But it's even like and you have, and that's another conversation, not on this episode of the podcast. But
so I have a question for Josh.
Mm.
So, Mr. Leaderman, Mr. Captain of the ship.
Am I the captain? I'm not sure. It might be Stephanie.
Okay. Well, you can deem her captain if you want to. I'm just saying it is your show.
Yes.
So from that aspect, Captain.
Okay.
How does it feel to have hit 800 episodes?
I can't believe it. Honestly, so I started this whole show as an accident. It was an accidental start because what happened was I interviewed an author by the name of Robert J. Sawyer. And I had finally got a phone like this. I finally crossed into the 21st century, finally. And like, instead of doing the old memorizing an interview and transcribing it and writing physical interviews, if you go on my website, you can still find some of those old interviews. Mm-hmm. I interviewed him. He goes to me after the interview. He talks to another author. Oh, I just got to interview Josh for his podcast. I did not have a podcast at that point in time. It's just like, hey, and I thought about it. And my career entirely is defined by accidents, all of them. I've accidentally been traditionally published. I accidentally started the podcast. I've accidentally invented a board game. I've accidentally I do things and things happen. This was an example. And then what a wild ride. I've met New York Times best-selling authors. I met people just starting and chasing their dreams. I think the most amazing thing for me, honestly, about this whole journey, how much alike really amazing people really are. They have the same goals, dreams, passions, wants, desires. And it's amazing because every one of them is so brave, right? Because you're going for it. And that's an amazing, it's truly an amazing thing. Most people in their lives, most people are afraid to shine. And I've had the opportunity of talking to 800, give or take, 800 people that shine. And that's an awesome, awesome thing. I am always so Steffi, you don't know us because we just became Facebook friends. But I generally do like motivational stuff every single day. I know everybody else has read some of those things here and there. But the fact is, you all motivate me as much as I motivate you, because how can I not be amazed by what you guys do? All of you.
You give us the opportunity to talk about that, so
Yeah.
very much appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, okay, you're one of my favorites because I make you laugh so goddamn much. But the other part about it though is, like, you literally had the guts to go out to Vancouver and say, you know, I'm going to make my life for myself. And I think that's an amazing thing you've done. It's badass. It totally is. Right? I admire you for that. Rodney is doing his own thing with Kickstarters, and like he's making Pitter Patter and terrible horror comics too, and they're fantastic and they're wonderful, and I think it's really damn cool. I don't know you very well, Stephanie, and I guess, like I said, I still feel a little bad because I kind of feel like this is the odd. You like I said, I wish you know, doing drawing stuff, but let's do like a proper. I want to do a proper interview at some point down the road, definitely. But the thing is, you're going out there and you're performing and you're actually putting yourself out there and saying, here I am. And then there's William, who does all these cool little stories and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow. I am constantly amazed at who and what I run into doing this. I cannot help but be amazed. So I think you're all awesome. And maybe that's why people want to come back for more of my abuse.
Or you're just kind of awesome too.
Try. I
Yep.
try.
Well, I think that another interesting thing is, you know, you were talking about Nikki going off and pursuing her dreams, and I, Nikki, I'm assuming you're in your early 20s. Okay.
Not really anymore.
Late 20s.
Okay, still, okay. You're a young lady, okay. And I remember when I was a young man, nobody could tell me that I wasn't going to be what I thought I was going to be, and I went after it with all the piss and vigor that a 20-something goes after their dreams. And you have certain levels of success and stuff, and then life gets in the way and things happen. And inevitably, you know, some of you have to go get day jobs, and I had to do that for a while. And which was, for me, was the biggest soul-crushing thing, because you're surrounded by people that have no ambition. And that, to me, was the worst thing. Their biggest ambition for the weekend was to go buy a dime bag of weed and a case of beer, and they had no ambition to go to a different city and try different foods, try to learn a different language, read a book, you know. And now I was away from it for 10 years, and I got back in it, and I've been back in it for 12 years. And just like we just did an anime show for 4 days, and just being surrounded by people with that energy, you know. And we had a great show, met a lot of great people. Just, you know, being around fellow creatives that are chasing their dreams, despite what level we're all at, you know, just going somewhere where you have an outlet to be you. That, you know, my hat's off to everybody on the panel for having the guts to do that, you know. It's just amazing. And I think we undersell ourselves. We don't really think about how deep that cliff is that we're looking down the chasm, because we just took that leap of faith in ourselves, and we took those steps, and we're different. You know, I look at, like, on Saturday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, we're at the show, we're getting everything straightened up, we're getting ready for another 12-hour day, and a lot of people they're still in bed, you know. But this is what we've chosen to do. On the weekends, we go work 14-hour days because it's what we love to do.
It was
So
funny. Go ahead, sorry.
No, we really are a rare breed.
They are hard to find. Like I've found now that since I've started networking and trying to surround myself with more people in this industry and more people that did what we did and gave up everything and tried to take their shot at their dream, and it's a completely different atmosphere. Like, these people, and I'm sure you went through this too, and I know I went through it, nothing comes your way for a very, 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 very long time.
Absolutely.
going on. Your motivation is the hope and the opportunity, the hope for the opportunity.
Yep.
And it's hard to meet people that are willing to keep that's their fuel, is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily seeing results, but hoping that one day that they will. And
Yeah, being persistent and never giving up, just keeping at it.
and
That's
it's a
rule 3.
completely different type of energy.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad. I was filming on a short back in Edmonton, and because my dad wanted to kind of come, I was like, sure, you can come, but I don't think it's gonna be what. And he ended up coming, and I remember going back to the car, and he was like, we've been here for like 6 hours. How much footage did you guys get? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like a minute or two worth. And he was like, what? But people that, right? Like that's quick. 6 hours for 2 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
That's
Yeah.
actually very impressive. That's very impressive.
Right? But people who don't work in the industry don't know that's literally what we do. We work for 12, 14, 16 hours for maybe 3 minutes of footage a time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's insane.
And
We love it.
and on a good day, it might be 5. On a bad day, it might be 1, depending on what you're doing, right? It's such a weird thing. The very first time I was part of filming something was we actually did a music video in my high school in communications class. So we spent 70 minutes filming for 30 seconds, which that's really good or really bad, depending on your point of view, right? Right, but we learned an awful lot. Like, get that right scene. Oh my gosh. Like I said, and for me too, like my mad respect goes out to animators. Oh my gosh, just to get a second of footage, a second. I did some animation. I did a little bit of animation for a client with and I charge, like, seriously, I charge by the second. Because after that experience, I will never do it again for cheap, ever. It is so hard. It is so hard. And I mean, that's not even taken into account. For example, like, Steph, how many hours do you practice singing regularly?
All the time.
All the time. William, how often do you practice drawing?
I draw at least once a day, sometimes for a longer period of time than normal.
So Nikki, you're doing like 10 zillion things, so I imagine that some days are better than others, but I'm assuming you're always doing something, right?
Yeah, this is the first week that I haven't in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. So I mean, that's it. And I think, and I said this, so today during my other freelance gigs, and I had time to kill. I met another freelancer in Calgary, and she was trying to get into copywriting. And she's like, listen, can you help me out? And I did. Like, I spent this whole game, when you break it all down, is about your belief in yourself. That's what it ultimately comes down to. The mindset here dictates what happens out there. And I think the reason why it takes such a goddamn long time for a lot of us to find stuff is because again, when you're going out there, hey, I have faith. And I remember, sure, as a freelancer, I was so afraid of fucking it up that it wasn't like, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And that means, like, when I changed it from I'm going to fuck this up to I'm going to do it, that's when I started making money doing this. It's such a journey. It is such an amazing journey. And yeah, kudos to you all for, going to do it or not do it or whatever you choose to do with it, right?
Someone once told me every overnight success has 7 years of work behind it.
And I can't hear you, Nikki.
I'm saying, somebody once told me that every overnight success is. Am I still like? Hang on. How about now?
I can hear you.
Nope, I can't.
Are you
Are you the only one that can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, my mic decided to play with me. Okay.
No, I was told that every overnight success has 7 years of work behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's every day practicing your craft, networking, making posts, making content.
That's right. So in 7 years, when you're all time, hold on a second here. All right. Actually, then let's do it. Let's do that right now. So, Miss Stephanie, do you have to get kidnapped somewhere else?
I do. I'm sorry. I have a phone call soon.
No, it's all good. So why don't we do it this way? We'll start with you. Where's your stuff? Talk about your song again. We're gonna wrap it up properly. Do you have a webpage?
No.
Yeah. What?
Does that have a link tree?
Okay. So do you have the link somewhere? Because I can put it up on the board so you can see it. Yeah.
Who's playing some Beyonce right now?
Let's say Beyonce's in the background somewhere.
That's me. That's me in the Starbucks I'm at right now. I literally went from where I was working to getting ready for the show.
By the way, I decided to switch it up a little bit and do the fifth brother from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Nice.
Just getting another episode of that tomorrow.
Nice.
For those of you who are Star Wars fans, I know everybody's not a Star Wars fan, but you know,
you
are.
Alrighty.
Are we showing off drawings now? Is that what's happening?
Pardon?
Instead of we showing off drawings now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, in a minute or two. I got a long way to go because I've been.
Yeah, we gotta let Stephanie wrap up so she can
All
get.
right, Stephanie, wrap up because I don't want to show mine after that drawing.
It's okay. I got a long way to go. Oh, awesome.
It was nice to meet you all. Thank you, Josh. Yeah. Congrats on your 800th episode. That's what we call it, right?
Yeah, 800 episode. Listen, you got a reality t-shirt, The Life of Stephanie. That literally should be your whole marketing brand right there. The Life of Stephanie. Right?
It's my TikTok name. It's my Instagram name. Like, hello.
Hello. No, yeah.
Album, The Life of Stephanie.
That's right. So, The Life of Stephanie, a reality show coming soon to a place near you.
It sounds like a reality show.
It totally does. It totally does. So, Steph.
We have stories that could make a reality show.
Sure.
So, Stephanie, it was a pleasure to meet you. We'll do this right somewhere in the not too distant future, okay?
Okay. Pleasure was mine. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we are down to 4. There it is. So, I didn't really get much drawing done because I've been talking my ass off, but I'm working on a dragon. So you missed it. By the way, I'm going to have my first illustration credit there, Nikki.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I'm on a Kickstarter right now, and I'm drawing a glorious glitter dragon.
A glitter dragon.
It's a glitter dragon. A black and white glitter dragon is what I'm doing because, see, my story is I'm in for a little zine called Magic the Gathering, based on Magic the Gathering. So Magic the Gathering has people that alter their cards, right, just to make them look prettier. So my card didn't like very much that he got altered. And it's my very favorite line I've ever written in a story. In the end, it was the glitter that set him off. And that's so he now gets revenge on his owner for turning him into who he is. And that's literally the story in the story in there, right? So, but I'm also doing an illustration for it. So I'm going to make like a magic card-like-esque drawing of it. So it's going to be like, it'll be a defaced dragon with like the evilest Daffy Duck-esque eyes. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the episode where Bugs drew Daffy, and he just had that moment where he's just like, I've had it. This dragon has had it. He's going to get his revenge on everyone. That's what I'm doing.
Do you have much of a drawing? Can we see it?
What?
Do you have much of it drawn? Can we see it?
No, I don't have it drawn yet. It's gonna. I'll tell you what. This is what I will do just for you. When it's drawn, I will send it to you. I'll send it to you via how I usually communicate with you, and you can tell me how many pencils I should or shouldn't use. Yes. But no, I.
Go ahead.
But no, man, it's literally it's my freelance job this week, so I get to work on. I never imagined I'd be doing that, like ever in a million years. Like I've been drawing for 18 months. Like seriously, that's it. So
you've been drawing for 18 months, like almost every.
Yeah, I know.
And been selling artwork. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I have sold artwork too.
It goes
I
right
have
back to
sold
what we were
artwork.
saying before. If you just keep doing it, eventually things will happen.
Oh, absolutely. But I never but for me, it was all about for me, this was one of the things that scared me. It's like, what if I suck? And then I had a wonderful thought. So what if I suck? And I just went and did it. And I've done it with some like William's a great artist. Rodney's an amazing artist. You're great too. Even though you want to sing and act your way to the top, which I think I totally respect. You're great too. And I say that like, you know, and I've been fortunate with everything I've done, and it just seems like, hey, cool things just are gonna happen to you just by doing. So
You just got to keep doing it.
that's right. I solemnly swear I will not stop. I solemnly swear.
The day you stop is the day your career stops, and every day you stop after that.
Yep. No, it's true. It's very true. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep fighting, and you gotta keep yeah. And like I said, it's funny. It's just like, and it's funny now at this particular point in the ball game. It's like that's it, man. I've come too far. I can't stop now. And I've hit a very interesting magical point where most of my money comes from my creativity now, which that's really freaking cool.
It's a
I
dream
made
for a
that
lot
happen.
of people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a journey.
Then that's very rewarding.
Oh man, it's freedom. Like legitimately, it's freedom. Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm employable ever again. I honestly don't think I'm employable. I have no fear, and you think that a boss would like that, but no, they don't. They get a little
No.
worried about you. They get a little worried about.
They want subservient worms to crush under their thumbs.
Not everyone, but yeah, most but I remember like when I was doing temp work in Windsor, they were so weird to me, like talking back like they're normal people. What do you mean? No, I'm a normal person to you. You're just a normal person to me, dude. I've hired people myself. Doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Yep.
Right. I'm too old. Like, yeah, I'm unemployable. I think I've hit that point.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm unemployable because I'm just like, you know what? I'm not scared of anything, and no, I'm lying. It's not that I'm not scared of everything. I've hit that point in my life where I realize that fear is a door, and the thing you want is always on the other side of that fear. So what you have to do is you have to face that fear, whatever that is, and once you face it, you open a door, and that door will be exactly what you want it to be.
Well, and you'll often find out that the fear was worse than the actual action.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Almost always. Right? So.
Or the feeling you get of not doing it.
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst feeling in the world. That is the absolute worst feeling in the world. I would rather fail miserably than not do it.
Right?
Yeah. I don't want to be 80 years old and asking what if. So I can if I die tomorrow, nobody can ever say what if, because he always was always out there, always doing it and always making it and always trying.
So what are you gonna say, William?
So I got a question for you guys that have gone down this path and you're doing what you love. Because Josh and I have talked a little bit. One of the things, he advised me of early on was he was like, with the stuff you're doing, you need to be showing the world what you're doing. Because sometimes it feels like you're not really doing it a whole lot. Like you're kind of putting it out there here and there, but like you need to be sharing the stories with other people. And one thing I've found lately, especially, is you always heard the whole thing growing up, and you've always heard even after that, oh man, you put it out there, man. I'll support it. I'll get it. I'll buy it. I'll do this and that and other thing else. And then you start putting it out there. And then you look out and you feel like a fisherman on a pier, and you've put out the different hooks and you've put out the different lines, and you're not really getting you're not really getting the traction you think you would get, especially when you've been told for years that, you put it out there and I'll get it. How do you overcome that?
I think for me, if you're doing it to be validated by somebody else, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because in my personal experiences, I never really had any aspirations to work for Marvel or DC. I mean, I did, but I also realized that I wasn't good enough. So I was always content to just be in the independent field, and I just do. I do what I write, what I write, and I draw what I can draw, and I put it out there, good, bad, or indifferent. Because people are always going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you they're going to do this and tell you they're going to do that, just to placate you and get out of a conversation and get out of the room. And then when push comes to shove, they're not going to know. They're not going to realize, especially if you're not posting on a consistent enough basis, which I'm guilty of myself. You just have to keep doing it and not worry. If you build it, they will come eventually. And if they don't, you're still doing what you love to do.
I'll let Miss Nikki put her 2 cents in before I put in my 2 cents.
I kind of agree with that. I think, like, I, for the longest time, hated doing anything on posting memes. And then I learned you can't do that all the time. But I did notice that as soon as I started posting more of, like, when I got auditions or when I got a really cool part or if I did a cosplay or something like that, like, yeah, people don't come running to you at first. But over time, if I would have started when that first person said, hey, you should start putting things on Instagram, I would be a lot further ahead, but nothing happens overnight. Like, even with my own lessons, like when I was taking singing, I didn't learn how to hit a note properly for at least 2 or 3 years. So everything takes time and investment, and that includes promoting what you want to do. And even if nobody follows you, at least you're still doing what you want to do.
Yeah, and you become familiar. Real quick, Josh, you become familiar because I've been doing the independent thing since the '90s, and people that knew me back then see me now, and they're like, "Oh, wow, you're still here. Well, what are you doing now? What have you got now?" And they're impressed that I came back and I'm still here. So I'm familiar on the con circuit. People know who I am.
It's
So
a really
you
cool feeling,
kind of
right?
want to.
Yeah.
What's that?
Nikki.
I said it's a really cool feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So time and people are like, hey, I remember when you first started doing this and seeing how far you've come.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only thing I'm going to add, so William, I don't know if you noticed this with me. I always post my little victories. All of them. Not because for me, that's not, it's for me. It's the reminder of how far I've come, whatever that looks like. Like, I remember about 2 months ago, I had my first 2,000 download episode, like, week for the podcast. That did not happen overnight. That took 7 years. That took 7 years of just me coming and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing. And no one, and when I started, oh man, I had like 3 people listen to my show, like 3, maybe, right? I did it for me. And every time I did something, I would tell the world I did something. And what ends up happening is you'll get, like, one day you'll wake up and you'll realize that, holy shit, people are listening, right? It happens. It doesn't happen right away, but one day you wake up and you realize, holy shit, people are listening. Holy shit, people are paying attention to what you're doing. Holy shit, right? You're there. Success doesn't come there isn't very rarely do you get a magic moment with success where you're like, I've made it. What it is,
they don't give you an ID card that says you made it.
Yeah, no, they don't. What happens is you wake up one day and you look around and you see what your life has become. But, like, for example, me, I'm drawing with 3 amazing people that I never would have met if I hadn't gone on this journey. Right? That's it. Now, how many people will listen to this episode when it's all said and done? How many people will watch this episode when it's all? I don't know. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that I am with 3 what was 4, now 3 very incredible people. Now is what this was about. Like the other guest was also some personal favorite. She just couldn't make it. But 4 of my favorite people in the last few years have done this show, especially since I went to Twitch. So I decided that's what I wanted to do tonight. I didn't want to do an over-the-top celebration. I wanted to spend time with just 3 very incredible people. That's it. And I've done that.
We appreciate being here, so thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. It's about you. It's about what you want, Mr. William. It's about you. What do you stand for? What are you willing to go for? It's got to be about you, a little bit. And then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
So William, when you're 60 years old or 70 years old and you're sitting in your Barco lounger, you can listen to all the young guns talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to build their lives. You can sit there, as long as you put your best foot forward and you went for it. You can always just sit there and think to yourself, oh, I took my shot and I landed where I landed. Like Casey Kasem used to say, shoot for the stars. If you don't make it, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll land amongst the stars. It's just, I've always thought that's a neatest saying because you can't lose. The only way you can lose is if you stop. And I stopped for 10 years and I was miserable for 10 years.
What was that defining moment where you were like, I am so miserable, I want to go back into doing what I was doing before?
Well, I worked at a machine shop and I actually blew my back out. So I was immobile and I couldn't do anything. So I started drawing again. And then I started writing. Well, I was writing when I was at the machine shop. So I never really quit because even when I was on my own and I was working at the machine shop, I went to Chicago one year and I landed a gig on G.I. Joe as an inking assistant. But that fell apart through no fault of my own.
Really cool, man.
Not
the back stuff, the G.I. Joe thing is really damn cool.
Yeah, and it was a happy little thing that I did all on my own without my buddies in the studio. I did it all by myself, and it was very rewarding. And I got that job because of the reputation that I got in the 90s for doing what I did. But coming back, and then I met my wife, and we started talking about the things that I had done, and she's like, "Well, why don't you do it again?" So I started doing it again, and then we started our company Hasm Productions, and here we are. So not only did I get my art career back, but I got a wife out of it. So it was double whammy, double goodies for me.
and his wife is awesome. His wife is awesome. So Rodney knows the story. You guys don't. It's about your own worth. So about 4 weeks ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago, I had a public relations company come to me and try to put like a logo of theirs on my show. And the reason I'm bringing it up with Rodney's wife is Rodney's wife got a real kick out of this, right? Because I looked at them, it's like, well, you got to pay me money. And they're like, well, we want to just do a swap. I'm like, no, we're gonna no. It's like you're gonna pay me money. So I wrote like one of these really professional letters. Also, by the way, their press releases were terrible. So I also offered to do work on their press releases because I'm also someone in the media. I don't want to read a 3-page press release to know why you're awesome. I want to know why you're awesome right away, so I can just decide whether I want to have you on the show or not. So I sent my proposal to Tina. Tina was like, "You're awesome. Like you're just awesome. Just do it." And I sent her the response because I laughed so hard. I laughed so hard. My favorite line was, "My press release guys have master's degrees." That was my favorite line. That was my favorite line in the whole thing. Right? It's like, okay, you have master's degrees.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna bounce up out of here.
No, that's cool. So before you wrap up, Mr. Rodney, what's up with you?
Well, I am. I was gonna talk about the upcoming Kickstarter, but the results of today, I'll have to put that on hold. We'll be starting back on issue 3 of Pitter Patter here very soon. I just wrapped up a couple of freelance jobs that I can't. Well, Cat Cat Piggy Girl, coloring the last 2 pages of that. The comic books for kids that we kickstarted and funded. So that's going to be coming out here very soon. And then I'm going to hop on back on. And yes, Josh, I will finish that little section of Roku Rampage 4.
Hey, listen, man, it's all good. I figured you had a reason, right? Right. I was just hoping I didn't break your brain. That was the only thing I was really worried about.
No. The other 2 jobs are done now. So we got confirmation today that it's done from the client. So my priority for this week is to finish coloring those 2 pages and then get that Roadkill Rampage scene written. So it's done.
So for those people wondering, I'm actually editing Roadkill Rampage number 4. So I'm actually doing the edit work, and I've been Rodley's better conscience mostly. Well,
all right.
Anyways, Rodney, a pleasure, my friend. We'll speak soon.
All right, sounds good. Nice to meet both of you. And Josh, congratulations again on your 800th. You are the man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Nice.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So when Rodley goes the way of the dodo bird, which he does, hey, the screen's now a lot more narrow.
Now
Did
it
that
feels
help,
like
William?
you're on a comic book cover of some kind.
Did that help you,
Move
William?
over a little.
Yeah.
Did that help? Yeah. Dude, you're incredibly talented. You always have been. But you put yourself out there for you, man. You're great. You're legitimately great. But yeah, it's gotta be about you.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get there. It's just another reason I asked that question too is because there's a Kickstarter I want to eventually do. There's a story I've been working on for a while, and I don't want to put it out there and it just bomb.
So what?
You know what?
So what?
It seems to be a bomb.
Let me put it this way. While I understand that failure is something that occurs and failure is part of the process, I don't like failure.
Nobody likes failure.
None of us like failure. I screw up, right? I screw up all the time. I asked a pretty girl, hey, you want to go out with me? No, that sucks balls. But you know what? Right? If I didn't ask, I wouldn't have a chance. Right? That's just the way it goes. Right? Failure sucks. Success is scarier.
I released some of my very first songs ever. Camera. Oh, it's not gonna do it. But yeah, I released some of my very first songs ever back in January, and that was scary. But now I'm producing them because a lot of people really like them. So
she has a fantastic voice. She'll sometimes put her songs on her Instagram. They're great. I tend to cheer her on a lot. Yeah, and I enjoy it. I think she enjoys it too when I do hear from her. But no,
sorry, it's busy.
It's okay. So,
but go ahead.
No, you have your life, Nikki. I totally get it, right? I totally do. So go, Nikki. Say
the point of me saying that is that was probably one of the most vulnerable moments I've ever had, releasing things that I've been working on for so long that you throw your heart and soul into, that you love, and you're like, I love it because I know what it means. I don't know if anyone else will. But you're not going to know until you do it. And if you're open to feedback, people will give that to you of what they're looking for and what they think, how to keep the message that you're giving out and portraying, but also relatable to the audience that you're trying to reach. There's no downside at all of posting your stuff online.
And also, William, here's the thing. I'm going to be doing my own Kickstarters later this year. I have some really good ideas. I have an Alice in Wonderland board game book I want to physically print out. I have another novel I'm working with somebody I'm really, really looking forward to working with. And then I have something else I'm working on too with somebody else. And I want to do and I'm writing and illustrating my own book, and I'm putting it on a Kickstarter. There is a chance putting all my stuff out there and no one's going to buy it. Like that is the risk I am going to take. But at the same time, this is how I look at it. This is how I'm going to learn. Right? To succeed, you got to learn how to fail. First, you got to learn how to fail, and then you got to learn how to succeed. Right? And the latter one's probably the harder of the two, to be honest. But you got to put yourself through the failure. It's going to suck. Sometimes it's going to really suck.
You can't grow without failure.
Yeah. Just don't let yourself get used to it. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. Just don't let yourself get used to it. That's the only thing I will say. When you get to the other end of the spectrum, which is when this podcast won an award, I was nominated. I had my first bout of Imposter Syndrome, and I asked myself, and to deal with my Imposter Syndrome, I asked myself how I got here. And this is what I realized. It's because I'm succeeding. Everybody's used to falling off the bicycle. Everybody's used to slipping on the ice. Everybody's used to sinking into the bottom of the ocean when you tried something. But when you actually are flying, it's surreal. It's totally surreal. It's the same thing, but it's not. You don't expect it. But the first step to that is, yeah, man, you can't be afraid to get your ass kicked. You're gonna get your ass kicked.
Welcome it.
Right. Yeah, welcome the ass kicking. Grin like an idiot and go, is that all you got? And then just keep going. Eventually. So, I mean, think of the whole idea of, because you're a biblical man, Jacob wrestling with the angel, right? Jacob wrestled the angel. He was busted up, beaten up, still held on. Just held on. Didn't win. Got his butt kicked the whole night. But he held on until eventually he was able to stand on his own 2 feet. We're spending our whole lives wrestling with our demons and our angels, my friend. And sometimes we get floored. But that's how we get to grow.
Yeah.
You're an incredible dude, my friend. You really are. I really love your work. And I've enjoyed having you on the show when you've been on the show.
Well, I was going to mention, by the way, too, I did release the more, and I say recent, but I had it behind a paywall for a bit, and then apparently the paywall wasn't working, so I put it out there with an R rating at the beginning of it. Our episode was you, myself, and Stone Abdullah.
Yeah, so that was my first. That was the first time in my life I saw racism at the most extreme. So I was unfiltered because I basically read, because it was behind a paywall initially. I went under the assumption I could say what actually was said to that bus driver.
Yeah.
See, the hate up close and personal, man.
And so it was interesting, and then I think you had to leave. And we got talking about the Taco Bell chicken wings that they had for a limited time, and we're trying to figure out why. Like, Taco Bell, you do one thing well, do that. Like, there are certain things we don't need you doing. Like, we don't need you in the chicken game. It's okay.
You and Stone definitely would. Yeah, that's where you.
Yeah.
Stone's a very interesting dude. I really dig him. I really dig him. So.
I will show off some other artwork that I've done while we're kind of going to kind of break up the monotony a little bit. So there is the Grand Inquisitor. So, of course, the big question around the internet is he dead or is he not dead? I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll see it.
Actually, you know what the answer to that is, William? Yes. That's the answer. Yes. Just go.
So there's Captain America. Sam Wilson is Captain America.
How long have you been drawing for?
Long time.
According to my mother, I've drawn ever since I can hold a pencil.
It's incredible.
Of course, my mother could be biased. That's perfectly fine,
Mom may be biased, but she ain't gonna lie, yeah.
This is
Yeah, no.
Reva from Obi-Wan. She was kind of getting a lot of flack for reasons, and so I was just like, you know what? I feel like she's one of those characters that by the time we get done with this series, I think she's going to get an arc. You know, that's going to be really interesting. Huh?
She's asking what she
She's
said.
gonna get a what? Sorry.
She's going to get an arc that's going to be really interesting by the time the series is over. Because she's a character that's created for the series. So, I mean, she doesn't have a history prior. But, I mean, they could do other stuff and spin her off in the books and things like that. So here's the man, the myth, the legend.
Ooh.
Lord Vader. Rise.
I love the lightsaber.
So I had a red mark. I don't usually do colors in my stuff, but that particular one was just like, I got to do the red. It was such a powerful moment in the deal there. There goes Black Panther.
That's incredible.
That's really cool. Yeah, he's good. He's great. I wasn't joking. Although I'm still not the pretty one, dang. But that's a joke I have with William. Whenever me and William hang out, I always say I'm the pretty one. He's the talented one.
Yep. This is Kamala Khan for the Disney Plus series that starts tomorrow. Actually, it's funny, they're gonna air. They're gonna, if I'm not mistaken, they're dropping both of these on Wednesdays now.
Yes.
So we're gonna get Obi-Wan and Kamala Khan the same week.
Care. I completely messed this up, but I don't care. See, I tried. Got some stuff right, got some stuff wrong.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's my cute little dragon.
I dig it.
Yeah, my cute little dragon. Yeah, so, and folks, you can't be afraid. Like I said, the worst someone can say is it sucks, and honestly, I don't care. I'm having fun. And I'm with great people, so who really, really, really cares? Right?
There you go.
Miss Nikki, you haven't shown your stuff.
Oh yeah. I'll show you what I've been drawing since I
Yeah.
If I can hold it up, maybe there.
Oh, okay. Got some bell going on.
Yeah, okay, so you know she is good.
I told you she's great. She really is. See? And that's awesome. That is really, really awesome, Nikki. So
It's been a while since I've to draw Disney.
If the Disney princesses as characters ever become public domain, I'm gonna have a crazy story in my head for them.
I'm a big Jasmine. I'm a big Jasmine fan. I think she's badass.
Because I kind of feel like in a post-apocalyptic world, the Disney princesses work there too, but you just have to put them in places. Like I would have a whole scene with Merida with like a repeating like arrow firing crossbow thing. You know, where she's like Jesse Ventura from Predator, but with a repeating crossbow instead of a typical like Gatling gun.
Nice. I'm a big
Sorry, go ahead.
Go, Jack. I was just gonna say, I'm a big Jasmine fan of the Disney princesses. The other one, I also don't mind, although she's not really a Disney princess. I'm a big Belle fan too. She's pretty badass. So, Nikki, you can go talk.
I honestly look good.
All right. Well, wow. So okay. So what do you both have coming up? I think we've gone for nearly 2 hours. I think this is we're near the point where it's a good point to call it. And you both rock. And by the way, Rodney, Steph, you both rock too. So thank you for doing this. But so Nikki, you got lots of stuff on the go. And William, you're working on your own stuff too. So who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Thank you. For me, stuff on the go. We just finished that short film from the weekend from the film competition we were in. So that was really fun. It was so nice to be on set again and working with people and doing things. I'm hoping to go home and record sometime in July. Hopefully I'll be releasing those by the end of the summer, which is very exciting. There's a couple other projects that I'm hoping to talk about when I can.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been a very busy time, so it's good to be back. It's nice to be back.
Yeah, you've done an awesome job. You should be very proud of yourself. Honestly. That's amazing. That's amazing. And Mr. William, what do you got going?
I'm working on a story about a character that I originally created as part of a Pathfinder campaign I'm a part of. And so this is Harbinger. I have a bit of it worked out, but I'm still working out the bigger story because I want to be able to do the story as an actual Kickstarter. Basically, the concept of a man of war who has to become a man of peace and face the very creatures that put him almost at death's door. A group of werebears killed a friend in front of him, and he kind of had to deal with the emotional stuff from that. He ends up in a monastery almost at the point of death, and Master Ma, who's like a 5'4" little lady, and just basically says, if you can last the first week of training, we'll consider training you. And he goes through a lot. I mean, it's the idea of, yes, he's as big as a mountain, and yes, he has all this physical strength, but it's more about the spiritual stuff that he has to deal with. And trying to be at peace with himself.
Hard thing to master, honestly.
So it basically is everything I love about old school kung fu flicks from the 70s mixed with also old school 80s cartoons.
I dig that. I'm in. I love me some kung fu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody that came out, everybody that watched, everybody that listened, everything. You guys are all amazing. This was an incredibly fun ride. And I want to thank, again, I can't thank enough people enough. So, if you want to support things, this is the Kickstarter I'm a part of right now. You can go pledge it. We're in the final few days. We're nearly funded. So, yes, if you want to see it, my glorious glitter dragon, and inside in print, as well as, see my short story, it's right here. I got a lot more cool things coming and happening that I can't quite talk about yet, but this show will continue. I'm actually going to be doing $7.99 tomorrow, but I got everybody here. This is as perfect as 800 as it's going to be, and honestly, like I said, I couldn't think of a better group of people I could spend it with. So for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Stay inspired, keep shining in the dark, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Congratulations on 800!